Hello everyone, welcome to today's Strengthen and Stretch Yogalates class. This is a full body strengthening and toning class to help you cultivate resilience, courage, and inner trust. When you're ready, join me in diamond pose, placing one palm on the belly, the other on the heart space. Closing the eyes and noticing what's going on for you right here, right now. Using this as an opportunity to practice non-judgment, acceptance, and loving compassion. On your next inhalation, gently raising the arms skywards, joining the palms together. Exhale, lower the hands to heart center. And again, inhale, raise. Lengthen the torso. Exhale, lower the palms down once more. Warming up the shoulders, the spinal column. And from here, interlacing your fingers together behind the back, extending the arms, opening the heart space, guiding your bind around to the left side of your waist, and beginning to create some half circles with the head and the neck, rolling from shoulder to shoulder. Noticing how the back of the neck is feeling and seeing if you can invite a softness into your experience. Re-extend the arms behind you, and let's take this on the other side, guiding your hands around to the right and maybe finding some head and neck circles. Inhale, extend the arms behind you and gently release. Well done. Okay, let's come into a tabletop position and we'll find a traditional cat and cow, engaging the core. Inhale, open the heart space, gaze up. Exhale, curl and round, press into the palms, chin to chest. Allowing the breath to guide you here. Doing your best to be present with each movement. Evenly distributing your weight across your palms, your fingertips to help support your wrists. Nice and controlled movements. One more round. And returning to a tabletop position. Spine is in a neutral position. Tucking the left toes under. Gliding the left foot back, extending the leg. You might like to shift your weight forwards and backwards slightly, stretching out the calf muscle, the Achilles. Inhale, float the left leg up to hip height. You might like to raise the right arm, coming into bird dog. Evenly distributing your weight between the left palm and the right leg. Elongating the back of the neck. Really pushing into the heel of the left foot to help you find length. Reaching the right fingertips forwards. Breathe. Keeping the left leg elevated, lower the right palm down, and let's begin to flex and extend the right knee, bending and straightening that leg. This is a beautiful way to turn on the hamstrings, Noticing if the abdomen begins to hammock and really seeing if you can invite an awareness and an engagement into this region so that we are supporting the lower back. A few more rounds. Keeping the left knee bent, we'll come into tiger pose using the right palm to grab a hold of the medial edge of the left ankle, keeping the right arm straight, pushing the left foot behind you away from the body to help you find that resistance to open the heart and lengthen the spine. Well done. Let's return to tabletop, and from here cat pose. A nice counter posture to stretch out the lower back. Returning to tabletop, and let's take this series on the other side. Gliding the right leg back behind you, finding your foundation, maybe stretching out the calf muscle. Aligning the left hip with the left knee and floating your right leg up to hip height. Maybe raising the left arm, coming into bird dog. The toes and the kneecap of the right leg are facing towards the earth. Find length. Breathe. Mindfully return the left palm to the earth, and let's begin to bend and straighten the right leg, keeping the knee level with the hips. You've got this. Keeping the right knee bent, let's come up into tiger pose, using the left arm this time to grab a hold of the right leg, the right foot. Pressing the left foot firmly into the earth to help you feel supported. Well done. Releasing from the posture and coming into cat pose, rounding the spine. And let's transition into child's pose, big toes together, guiding the hips towards the heels, extending the arms out in front as you lower your chest and your forehead towards the earth. Widening your knees as much as you like to give way for your rib cage, the chest, the belly. Inhale, rise up into a tabletop position, and let's lower down onto our forearms. Elbows are aligned with the shoulders. Checking that the core is switched on, softening the facial features. And let's extend the left leg behind us. We're going to point the toes. Inhale, raise the leg. Exhale, lower down with control. And again, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Ever so slightly tapping the big toe down on the earth every time you lower the leg. Or alternatively, you could keep the leg lifted the entire time. Moving at a pace where you can be mindful and aware of what is going on. The hips are squared to the earth. We're turning on the glutes here as well as the hamstrings. and the core and the shoulders are working to support us. Breathe. Two more leg extensions, make them count. Well done. Okay, pivoting your right forearm on a diagonal, pivoting the body to the left. We're going to lift and lower the left leg. Now we're focusing more on our stabilizing muscles, the outer hips, the glute med. Drawing your belly button to the spine. Pausing for a moment at the top every time you raise that leg, and lowering down with intention to help you create that resistance so that we're activating our muscles, so that we're finding our full range of motion. Keep going. One more round. Keeping our body in the same position as before, we're going to bend our left knee, guide it behind the right calf, and then open our leg out to the side, pointing the toes, kicking the leg. If possible, raising your left leg to hip height, and doing your best to keep the right hip aligned with the right knee. Nice and controlled movements. Using your left palm for support, keeping the elbow bent. Smile. You can do this. Reconnect with your inner fire, your inner strength. One more round. Beautiful work. Returning the left leg to the earth, coming up into a tabletop position, and let's circle the hips and the shoulders, liberating any stagnant energy that might be manifesting around these regions. Breathing into any sensation or tension, giving yourself permission to soften, to slow down. Transitioning into child's pose, sinking the hips to the heels and melting the heart space towards the earth. Okay friends, let's prepare to take this series on the other side, coming up into a tabletop position, lowering down onto the forearms, spreading the fingertips wide, finding your foundation, and let's extend the right leg back, pointing the toes. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Just like this. Nice, steady movements, steady breath, steady focus. Final round. Well done. Okay, pivoting our left forearm on a diagonal, turning the body to the right, grounding down through the right palm. And let's begin to raise and lower the right leg. Noticing if you are holding any tension in the upper body, perhaps around the neck, the shoulders, the jaw. And seeing if you can soften into these regions. Pointing your toes as much as you can, finding length every time you raise that leg. Feel your leg growing longer. You've got this. One more round. Well done. Keeping the upper body positioning, keeping the left leg on the earth, we're going to bend the right knee behind the left calf and extend our right leg out to the side, raising the leg to hip height, pointing the foot. You might be feeling it a little more just after we've worked our supporting leg. Know that that's okay. This is an indication that our muscles are working to support us. Keep smiling. This is our final strength-based exercise. You can do this. One more round. Well done. You might like to circle the hips in one direction, mobilizing the glutes, perhaps swapping the direction of your circles. And let's come into child's pose, taking your time. Know that you can pause the video and stay in child's pose for as long as you like. And when you're ready, let's transition into downward facing dog. Raising the pelvis, extending the arms, the legs. Gaze is between the feet. Pushing firmly into your fingertips, your palms to help you lift up and out of the shoulder girdle. Engaging the lower abdomen. Separating the shoulder blades. And you might like to pedal out the legs, bending one knee at a time, straightening the other. Find what feels good. Now let's set up for pigeon pose, guiding the right knee towards the right wrist, either staying upright. You might like to point your toes behind you or keep the foot flexed. If you're staying upright, be sure to keep the core switched on. This is a deep back bend. And if you'd like to fold forwards, maybe lowering down onto your forearms. And you might notice that this variation enables you to get deeper into stretching the glutes and the hips. Allow yourself to soften. Gifting yourself one more mindful breath in pigeon pose. And let's re-extend the arms, return to down dog. One breath here. Stretch out the entire posterior chain. And let's take pigeon pose on the other side, finding your expression of this posture. And if possible, performing the same variation that you did on the other side to really help us foster a state of harmony within the body. Well done. Raising the torso if you were in a fold. Returning to down dog. This is our last downward dog, so use this opportunity to stretch the body, to stretch the mind. Breathe. Return the knees to the earth. And let's come up into a seated position, lowering the sits bones down onto the earth, extending the legs out in front, lengthening the spinal column. You might like to point and flex the feet a few times, stretching the ankles, strengthening the arches of the feet. You might like to circle the feet in one direction. And let's come into head to knee pose, keeping the right leg straight, bending the left knee, externally rotating the hip and guiding the left foot to the inner seam of the right leg. Maybe staying upright is enough for you, or you might like to fold forwards and melt atop of your right leg. For a more active variation, keeping the right foot flexed, engaging the quadriceps, and for a gentler variation, simply relaxing and allowing yourself to surrender. Mindfully raising the torso, taking your time. Let's re-extend the left leg and take head to knee pose on the other side. Wonderful. Mindfully elevating the torso. Re-extending the right leg. And let's close practice in a comfortable seated position of your choice. Close the eyes, lengthen the spine, and place one palm on the belly and the other on the heart. Thank yourself for showing up here today. Recognize the tremendous faith and resilience that you have cultivated. Know that this practice is always here for you and you can return to it as often as you like. Thank you so much for today. Sending you love and light. Namaste.